the July 21st episode, let us talk about Nina and Brennan first, because I absolutely cannot get this out of my head. I love a good romance, and that passionate kiss they shared earlier, fire. Absolute fire. But something still bothers me, and it bothers me deep in my soul. I want to believe that Brennan is falling for her, I really do. But guys, this is Jack Brennan. We are talking about the man does not let his heart steer the ship. When I watch them, I see Nina falling into this vulnerable space. And it hits so hard because we know her history. We have watched Nina be manipulated, used, and tossed aside by so many people she trusted. Seeing her potentially gear up for an even bolder, more intimate night with Brennan makes me want to scream at my television screen. I genuinely wasn't expecting that level of emotional danger for her right now. It feels like she is walking blindfolded onto an active minefield. And what makes it infinitely worse is the setting. They are at Willow's house. Willow, if you ask me, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Imagine Willow casually walking into her own living room and catching Nina and Brennan in a highly compromising position. The sheer awkwardness and the immediate loss of control over the narrative would be catastrophic for everyone involved. Willow is already on edge, and if she sees Brennan, the man she is relying on for crucial leverage against Drew, distracted or entangled with her mother, she is going to lose her mind. I can feel the secondhand anxiety just picturing it. I am terrified for Nina because I strongly suspect Brennan is using her to achieve a completely different goal. He is a master strategist. Every touch, every look feels calculated, and it breaks my heart because Nina is just so desperate for a genuine connection. Then we pivot to the PCPD, and guys, the tension between Ezra and Joe is doing terrible things to my blood pressure. I love this storyline because it is so gritty and real, but I am also incredibly frustrated by it. Ezra is brought in for questioning, and Joe is just not buying his innocent act for a single second. Part of me wants to scream at Joe, Ezra literally saved your life. How can you look a man in the eye who kept you breathing and treat him like a prime suspect? But another part of me thinks Joe is absolutely right. I honestly can't decide whose side I am on here. Ezra is hiding something massive. You can see it in his eyes, the way he deflects, the way his jaw clenches. I can't help feeling that this interrogation is the tiny thread that, once pulled, will unravel Jen Sidwell's entire underground network. It is this brilliant duality that makes me love and hate the police storylines at the same time. We want loyalty. We want Joe to trust the guy who saved him. But Joe's detective instincts are screaming that Ezra is dirty. And frankly, my instincts are screaming too. Ezra is a wild card. If he breaks under Joe's pressure, the fallout is going to be monumental. But will he break? Or is he going to spin a web of lies that drags Joe even deeper into them? I keep thinking about how Sidwell operates, how he leaves absolutely no loose ends. If Ezra talks, he is a dead man walking, and he knows it. This isn't just an interrogation. It is a high-stakes game of psychological chess, and I am here for every agonizing second of it, even as it tears my nerves to absolute shreds. And speaking of nerves being torn to shreds, can we please talk about Carly and Valentine? I have to admit, I was holding my breath during their entire interaction. Carly is relentless. She knows Valentine is holding on to that WSB black box, and she is applying pressure like only a Spencer can. I understand why she is doing it. She wants leverage. She wants safety for her family. She wants answers. But I still think that was a massive mistake on her part. Valentine Cassadine is not a man who responds well to being backed into a corner. He knows exactly what that black box represents. It is not just data. It is power. It is the kind of power that shifts the entire hierarchy of Port Charles. Valentine is never, ever going to just hand that over, no matter how much Carly pushes. Maybe I'm being unfair, but Carly sometimes acts like she is entitled to every single secret in town. And Valentine's stubbornness is just matching her energy perfectly. If you ask me, this is where things get incredibly dangerous. Because if Carly knows about the black box, it is only a matter of time before the wrong people find out. Secrets do not exist in a vacuum in this town. And my mind immediately goes to Brennan. If Brennan catches wind that Valentine has the box, we are looking at a full-blown war. A showdown between Jack Brennan and Valentine Cassadine over a WSB black box? Guys, I would pay good money to see that fight, but I am also terrified of the collateral damage. It would be apocalyptic for anyone caught in their crossfire. Then there is Molly reaching out to Laura for help. At first glance, you might think, oh, it is just Molly needing some legal or political advice. But I genuinely wasn't expecting the vibe I got from that scene. I feel like there is so much more simmering beneath the surface. Molly is a Lansing Davis. She has that fierce intellect and that burning sense of justice. Part of me wants to believe she is just seeking guidance from a seasoned mayor. Another part of me thinks she is quietly assembling a strike force. I honestly can't decide, but my gut tells me Molly is plotting something massive to make Jen Sidwell and his allies pay for the chaos they have caused. Laura has the power, the connections, and the history of taking down villain. Together, they could be completely unstoppable. It is so refreshing to see Molly taking a proactive stance, but it also scares me because Sidwell is not someone you play games with. If Molly is stepping into the ring with him, she is risking everything she holds dear. And Laura, bless her heart, is always willing to put herself on the line for her family and her city. I love seeing these two strong women strategize, but the frustration comes from knowing how easily this could blow up in their faces. Sidwell's reach is terrifying. If he catches wind that Molly is mobilizing Laura against him, he will not hesitate to strike back hard. I am sitting here biting my nails, hoping Molly knows exactly what she is doing. But guys, nothing prepared me for Lulu and Sunny. Nothing. When Lulu stood there and told Sunny that Jason was not the one who shot Ross Cullum, I stopped breathing. I literally paused the screen and just stared. We know she's protecting Rocco. We know Jason took the fall. But for Lulu to look Sunny in the eye and drop that bombshell, that changed the entire trajectory of the show. Sunny was dead silent, and you could practically see the gears turning in his head. I understand why Lulu felt she had to do it. She is a mother desperately trying to navigate an impossible situation, and her back was against the wall. But I still think it was a massive, dangerous gamble. Sunny's reaction is what terrifies me the most. He is fiercely loyal to Jason, and finding out that Jason is suffering for someone else's crime is going to ignite a rage in him that we haven't seen in a very long time. Part of me is so proud of Lulu for being brave enough to speak the truth when she had no other choice. Another part of me thinks she just handed Sunny a live grenade without pulling the pin herself. And here is the thing that keeps nagging at me. I can't help feeling that the person who pulled the trigger is just a pawn in a much larger game. Yes, we know it was Rocco protecting Jason, but the whole situation feels manipulated. It feels like there is a bigger mastermind orchestrating this entire tragedy, and Lulu's confession is just going to kick over a hornet's nest we aren't ready for. And speaking of manipulation, what on earth is Willow doing? She casually invites Harrison Chase to go to Washington, D.C. with her. On the surface, people are saying, oh, it is just a short trip, a little political networking. No, absolutely not. The moment I saw this, I knew something was terribly wrong. Willow is terrified. She knows the walls are closing in with Drew recovering and Brennan's blackmail hanging by a thread. If you ask me, Willow is trying to get Chase out of Port Charles before a massive disaster strikes. She is trying to clear the blast zone because she knows everything is about to explode. I judge Willow so hard for this. I love that she cares about Chase, but using him like a pawn, trying to manipulate his location to protect her own secrets. It is so messy and wrong. And of course, Chase is likely going to turn her down. He has responsibilities. He has baby Phoebe, and he is trying to repair his marriage with Brooklyn after her whole framing fiasco. Chase is a good man, a family man, and he isn't just going to drop everything for a random trip to DC. But Willow's invitation is a glaring red flag. It proves how desperate she is. She is spiraling, and she is trying to control the uncontrollable. It makes me so frustrated because she is just digging her hole deeper and deeper, and she is going to drag everyone down with her. Finally, let us talk about the stables. Cody seeking out Tracy Quartermain for help. It felt like a breath of fresh air, a lighter moment amidst all the heavy WSB and mob drama. But guys, I have been watching this show long enough to know that General Hospital does not waste scenes like this. They do not just throw Cody and Tracy into a stable for some lighthearted banter unless it serves a much bigger purpose. I keep thinking about what Cody might find in there. Tracy is sharp as a tack, and Cody has this uncanny ability to stumble into massive secrets. I will not be surprised in the slightest if Cody accidentally uncovers a crucial clue while asking Tracy for a favor. Maybe it is something related to the WSB, maybe something about Sidwell's network. It is the classic GH misdirection. You think you are watching a simple character interaction, and suddenly, boom, they find the missing puzzle piece that changes everything. It is brilliant writing, and I love it, but it also drives me crazy because now I am analyzing every single word they said to each other, looking for hidden meanings. The way the writers are balancing these intense life or death stakes with quiet, character-driven moments is just phenomenal. But it leaves me feeling like a conspiracy theorist trying to connect the dots on a corkboard. This entire episode was an absolute masterclass in tension. The way they are weaving the emotional romance of Nina and Brennan with the high-stakes espionage of the WSB black box and tying it all together with Lulu's desperate confession to Sonny is just incredible television. I am emotionally exhausted, but I cannot wait for tomorrow. The black box and Lulu's truth are the keys to everything, and all hell is about to break loose in Port Charles. Am I the only one feeling this way? Am I reading too much into Willow's DC trip, or do you guys see the sheer panic in her eyes too? What do you think Brennan is really planning with Nina? Guys, let me know in the comments, because my mind is spinning and I need to know I am not crazy for overthinking this.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.